What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/Today I Fudged Up. This story's called Today I Fudged Up by forgetting I was having groceries delivered and consequently traumatizing the delivery driver. So this F-up happened about 45 minutes ago, and I'm currently laying in the bath recovering. I ordered a food delivery from the local supermarket to be delivered this morning. I work from home, so it's super convenient. I had a super crappy day yesterday, so I was having a slow morning. It got to 10 a.m. and I was still in my dressing gown, with no belts and nothing underneath. Hair unwashed and awful, and mascara down my face. I get a knock at the door, and I think it's the postman, only to see that it's my food delivery. I'm annoyed at myself as I completely forgot. Usually I'd be ready and dressed and have shut the cats in another room. They're currently indoor but try to escape. This is where the first thing goes wrong. I go to take the first tray from the driver. We get the food delivered in big basket trays. You take them into your house and unload them, then go give the trays back. As I take it, my dressing gown swings open and I'm fully naked underneath. I panic and turn around quickly, apologizing, but from the red glow emanating from his face, he clearly saw everything. I run to the kitchen and dump out the shopping, grab a scarf from my coat rack and tie it around my waist, making me look ridiculous but at least covered. He is now bringing the other two trays to the door. I pick up the second. As I'm walking to the kitchen, one of my cats makes a run for the open front door. She's recently rescued and not allowed out quite yet, so I panic and try and block her way with my foot. At this point, my lower back completely gives way and I collapse to the floor in pain, covering myself, my cat, and everything in the groceries, including a jar of Cornicons that's smashed. I'm now on the floor and can't move, covered in pickle juice, already looking at a state, and I have a very angry cat next to me. I'm so stuck I have to call the delivery guy, who has to come into my house and help me up, at which point I'm almost in tears from the pain. My other cat has now appeared and it's trying to lick up the pickle juice, so he's also trying to move her away at the same time. He helps me into the living room and brings the next tray of food in for me and starts to empty it on the sofa as I'm half laying, half sitting on the floor next to it. I then realize how awful my living room looks. As I said, I had an awful day the night before and had consoled myself badly by finishing a bottle of wine and then moving on to some gin, both of which bottles are still on the living room table, with the gin lid off as I hadn't cleaned up. You'd think that'd be it, as I've already disgraced myself enough looking like an unemployed alcoholic with no personal hygiene and half in tears, but oh no! My newer cat decides it's time to start hurtling back down the stairs and straight out the front door, which the delivery driver let swing open again when he rushed in to pick me up. So now I'm unable to move and now actively sobbing as I'm in a lot of pain and I'm panicking she'll run off. Between sobs, I ask if he could possibly try and catch her as I can't move and she's old and scared. Luckily, he is a hero and manages to wrestle her back in, which is no easy feat as she's over a stone and very bitesy and hissing. He practically yeets her inside and runs back to the safety of his little van without looking back. It took me 20 minutes to get up and hobble upstairs to get in the bath, and then another 20 minutes to lower myself in. And to cap it off, I'm now in the bath and realized I haven't put any shopping away, including ice cream. Okay. No. Oh. I'm cringing because that's horrible. Oh, she can't even relax in the bath because she's... The ice cream, man. The ice cream, once it melts and then refreezes, it's not the same. It's not. You can't tell me otherwise, man. I feel bad for this woman. This story's called Today I Fudged Up by reuniting with an ex-girlfriend I met on Yahoo Instant Messenger. This is a long story, so I'll sum it up the best I can. For context, I'll explain our relationship before reuniting. I was about 14, just a dumb teenage boy looking for girls to talk to in chat rooms. You know how it is, or maybe you don't, I don't know. Anyway, I found a girl to flirt with, and as I was trying my best to flirt, she was actually pretty chill and we began talking like normal people would. We connected pretty well. Eventually, after months of talking, we both confessed we liked each other and agreed to start dating online. This went on for 8 months. It was great, until she ended up meeting someone else she worked with and left me for him. Her reason was because he was there, and seeing how I was too young to travel to her, I understood, even though I was heartbroken. Months go by and I barely hear anything from her. Again, understandable, but then I get a random call on a cold January night. It's her. I was surprised to hear from her again. She said, "I'm coming down to see you. Where are you at?" Nervous and excited, I say, "At my grandma's. Are you really coming? Like, for real? What about your new guy?" She says, "Yes, we broke up and I have a car now and free time. My friends talked me into it." Fast forward 4 hours. It's nearly 1 a.m. She wasn't answering her phone. I thought she was just pulling some sick joke to make a fool out of me. I start to let it go, but then I saw headlights turn into the driveway. No way. I run out to find that it's really her. It was great. We hugged and kissed for the first time and it was glorious. We stayed up for a few hours and talked and talked. She then took my V-card that night. We woke up to my grandpa giving us a lecture and kicking her out. Don't care, had sex. I'd also like to point out, I was almost 16 years old by this time and she was 17. She goes home and we start talking again and agree to try to date again. A few months go by and then it happens. We broke it off. She didn't find a guy this time, she just couldn't take the distance. 4 hours, or so I thought. Important for later. We lost contact shortly after. This is where the story really starts. Fast forward to December 2011. Just broke up with my crazy girlfriend at the time. Another story for a different day. I'm 19 by now and chilling at my dad's watching reruns of that 70s show. I get a call, not a number I recognized. I answer right away. Hello? It's her, Yahoo girl. "Hey, I'm having my birthday party. You should come up." How do you still have my number? But okay, I guess. I had my own car and license. I had the means to travel on my own, so why not? But looking back, I wish I had hung up, cause she nearly ruined my life in the end. I go up and meet her at her house, along with the rest of her family and friends I always heard about but never met. We all have a good time. I get drunk. Really drunk, blackout, and fall over breaking my collarbone drunk. At the time, it didn't hurt that bad, but I think it was because of the alcohol. I even managed to do the dirty with her whilst holding my own arm against my body because of the pain. I'm still proud of that moment. Anyway, since I had the means to visit more often, we talk more and eventually get back together. Bad idea. I'd go up every weekend to visit. I was out of work at the time and she helped me find a job at Walmart up there where she lived. She worked at the Walmart in the town over. We were then able to get an apartment together. Although I worked midnights, she worked days. It became hard to see each other with our conflicting schedules. I could feel the emotions of our relationship beginning to run dry. It got to the point where she'd leave me at the apartment by myself to go hang out with friends as I was too tired during the day. I'd try to stay up longer to be able to see her more, but that didn't stop her from leaving me there. And then it had gotten worse. She would even stop talking to me altogether, just passing each other in the hallway without speaking a word. I became just a roommate. I tried to spice it up by surprising her with flowers and nice things to show her I still cared and thought about her often. It didn't work. Also, mind you that I didn't know anyone or know my way around town that well, just to get to work and back. I became very lonely. We didn't have much money either, so at night, it'd just be me, a bowl of ramen, and a slow computer I attempted to play Minecraft on to relieve some boredom. Something had to change. I could feel her drift further and further away from me emotionally. I'd also see her texting people non-stop, but not a word to me. She'd send me short texts all the time. I felt something was off, but I let it go, assuming it was her friends or something. But then it happened. These next few months are what still replay in my head like a traumatic flashback. Cinco de Mayo, 2012 came around. Her friends were Latino and celebrated at the local campground. She of course goes and leaves me behind. I'm emotionally unattached at this point, about to my breaking point. Later on, she comes home in tears, crying like I've never seen her cry before. Me, being a concerned boyfriend, ask what's wrong and try to figure out what happened. She doesn't say a word, just sits there and cries until she decides to go to bed. Whatever, I tried, I guess. Well, the very next day, she goes to the campground again. At this point, I've had enough. I text her and tell her I wanted to break up. She was shocked, honestly. I didn't give her a reason. I just wanted to end the hurt I was bottling up. I felt instantly relieved. Then she texted me and was eager to know when I was moving out. I told her I wasn't moving as I paid the bills here too and I was still in my 3-month probationary period at work. I wanted to stay until I could get transferred back home to my local Walmart. And because both of our names were on the lease, there wasn't anything she could do about it. So later that night, she comes home crying again. I beg her to tell me what the matter was. Still nothing, so I stopped trying. I lay on the couch to go to sleep before I had to go to work. The very next day, you guessed it, she goes out there again. I stay up that night as I couldn't go to sleep and I didn't have to work. 4 a.m. rolls around and here she comes. Drunk, stumbling in the door with someone, a guy in tow. Who was it, you ask? Oh, it was her best friend's husband. They go to the bedroom and lay down together. I immediately walk in there and calmly but aggressively ask, what in the hell does she think she's doing? She just stares at me. I've had enough. Yet again, I turn to the closet, bear hug as many of my clothes as I could manage, and throw them in the living room. As I'm doing this, she's yelling at me, "You're acting crazy, what are you doing? It's not that big of a deal!" As she was laying there, cuddling with her best friend's husband. I don't say a word or even look at her. I gather most of all my things and pack my car up as full as it would go. I go back in to drop my key on the counter. I write a note to her saying, "Please do not contact me ever again." I go straight to my job and explain my situation and quit my job and drive back home. They told me they liked me and was always welcome back anytime despite me quitting before my probation period was up. And that was the last I heard from Yahoo Girl. I'm still in contact with her ex-best friend whose husband she stole, and we're still good friends. We still talk sometimes on Facebook. The ex-best friend tells me she's much happier with who she's with now, and Yahoo Girl and ex-husband ran off and had a kid together. I guess what had happened was that Yahoo Girl and husband got caught multiple times sneaking off together to have sex. And also, apparently Yahoo had been cheating on me the entire time with multiple people, even back when we were dating online all them years ago. Turns out she only dated people to cheat on them. But I do have to thank her for one thing I learned from this that has changed me mentally for the better. She taught me self-respect and will no longer let people bulldoze me. I was proud of how I handled it. Even though it put me in a bad position back at home, I was able to get back on my feet. All is well. I'm now 27, married, and have 3 kids. Holy crap. Okay, wow, that's terrifying that people like that exist because, well, Redditor man, dude, bro, good job on getting married and having 3 kids at such a young age. Well, I'm glad you found someone at least, because 3 kids at that age? Oh my god, I could never do it. This story's called, Today I Fudged Up by Trying to Surprise My Girlfriend in the Shower. So, a month ago now, my partner, Allie, and I decided it would be a good idea to take a holiday before things get too crazy at Christmas time. My best mate, Dan, had been talking for ages about taking a holiday, so we got together and planned a week up the coast in a little 2-bed, 1-bath Airbnb overlooking a beach. Dan had only just started dating his girlfriend, Lisa, a month prior to the holiday. I had got the feeling a couple of times that she didn't like me, but I had no idea why. So, time comes for the holiday. I drive everyone up, we arrive, no problems, unpack, make the 30-second walk down to the beach, and swim. All good. We go out for a nice dinner and then retreat to the beach house for some quiet drinks and then bed. Holiday is off to a cracking start. Next morning rolls around, I wake up alone in bed. I figure Allie must have gotten up early to take a shower and have breakfast. I make my way out to the living room/kitchen area and no one is around. I can hear the shower running through the bathroom door. I knock on Dan and Lisa's door, no answer. So I peek in and they're gone. Figure they must have decided to go for a walk along the beach. Feeling a little cheeky, I grab my towel, strip down and make for the bathroom. The door is unlocked, sweet! I sneak in. Shower curtain is closed and I can hear a woman humming a tune inside. I drape my towel on the rack, pull back the curtain ready to jump in and surprise Allie, and boom! There's Lisa, with her back to me, lathering shampoo through her hair. She hears the curtain go and turns to look at me. We just stand there awkwardly for about half a second, which felt like an hour. Suddenly, reality kicks in. I attempt to cover my eyes and privates at the same time. Lisa screams and tries to pull the curtain shut. She slips on shampoo and smacks her head against the soap tray. If she didn't hate me at first, she does now. I had to help her naked and semi-conscious out of the shower, wrap her in her towel, and sort out a nasty lump on her head. Turns out, Dan and Allie had gone down to the local cafe and grabbed us all coffees, and Lisa had decided to shower while they were gone. So yeah, the next 5 days went really great. Allie wasn't overly impressed about it at all, but Dan thought the whole situation was hilarious despite Lisa's mental scarring. I've avoided making eye contact with or speaking to Lisa ever since. Ooh, quite the story. Oh, okay, poor Lisa though. Poor Lisa, even though she's kinda the guy making her come off as sort of a B word. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.